Hey Malia, you want to see a video clip of the very first online course?
Well, sure, if it'll help us illustrate today's point.
Well, I think you'll enjoy it. Hey Pat, let's roll that VHS tape. Good afternoon, students. If you'll turn into your textbooks to page 964, you'll see the section on indescribable monotony. And I'd like to illustrate this on the overhead. Can everyone see this? Can you see it? If you're having trouble at home, I'll send a mimeograph of the chart. Now, as you can see, monotony is an acquired taste, and many of you will not recognize well-taught courses.
Wow, that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Certainly not the worst thing you've ever seen.
So did you know that guy? He sure looked like
No,
you.
it wasn't me. It was this guy from an open concept community college thing. Forget about it.
Well, I'm glad we got to see that because it speaks to how far video lectures have come over the few decades since online courses came into being.
I know. Not only are the cameras a million times better than they used to be, but also the ability to enhance your teaching videos with graphics, pictures, animations, and even other videos has greatly improved since our example.
Right. Lesson 1. You should never have to use an overhead projector in an instructional video. But the idea is valid. Adding imagery, animations, and graphics bring your videos to life. When you're creating teaching videos, remember you are trying to reach the students who have multiple learning styles.
So let's talk about some of the ways you can use imagery to enhance your content. No matter how you create your videos, webcam in your office, a camcorder used out in the world somewhere, or working with a video crew, you should work toward making your video lectures as lively and engaging as you can.
As we've inferred, you can use photos or video, animation or graphics comprised of text. All of these are good ways to reinforce the points you want to make.
Now, the second thing you need to consider about the images, animations, or graphics you use in your videos is how long each one should be on the screen. The length of graphics on screen should be long enough for the learner to easily read them.
While there's no hard and fast rule, typically a graphic should run from 5 to 10 seconds depending on the graphic. Of course, if it takes longer than 10 seconds to describe or explain the image, you'll need to adjust for that.
The beauty of video is a viewer can always hit pause,
play, come on,
and look at a chart or image of extreme detail if that viewer needs to be on screen longer. You also wind up staying on an image longer simply because you have a lot to say about it. You'll develop a rhythm over time. Just keep in mind that you want your video to be lively, so the general idea is not to stay on any one thing too long.
The third question you want to ask yourself when you are developing your video is, do the images support the content? Make sure the imagery you choose relates to your subject. It needs to be representative of what you are trying to say. Images that aren't relevant will only cause confusion and be distracting.
Just because you have a picture of a Labradoodle eating crepes doesn't mean it should be in your video lecture. It's likely your students will only remember little scoodles and miss the point of your lecture.
But she is adorable.
Save that for Instagram. But let's review our points about imagery that does work in video lectures.
Okay, use imagery that translates well visually. Overhead transparencies, hand-sketched drawings, highly detailed images are often hard to grasp by your viewers.
Use images only when they are needed. Don't insert imagery simply for the sake of adding imagery.
Leave text graphics on screen long enough to be read easily, but don't leave them up longer than they are relevant to what you are saying.
And finally, make sure the imagery you choose is relevant to your topic.
Using on-screen text and images make your video lectures more engaging for the viewer. Keep these simple rules in mind and your students will ultimately pay closer attention.
And when your students are engaged and paying attention, they do better in your course.
Meaning they learn more,
making the whole world a better place.
and that makes you a star.